Roughly between 1982 and 1984, there was a massive surge of action fantasy films like Conan the Barbarian, The Beastmaster, Conquest, and The Sword and the Sorcerer. If this whole genre of movies shared a bathroom and all took a shit in the same toilet, in that toilet is where you would find Deathstalker. Welcome to a chaotic age of darkness when people ran in fear from the armies and women were tossed around and fought over like toys. It's a world where the strongest survive. Heads get cut off, women are getting raped left and right, lightning and explosions. Lots of blood, lots of nudity, all hell breaks loose. Next came Deathstalker 2, Duel of the Titans, Deathstalker 3, The Warriors from Hell, and Deathstalker 4, Match of Titans. They were all produced by, who else? The Schlockmeister, B-movie king, 10 movie a year, Mr. Roger Corman. These posters are amazing. They're way better than the movies themselves. The characters in the movies don't even look anything like they do on the posters. Reviewing these movies would be impossible, so instead we'll take a look at the characters and other interesting tidbits as we compare the Deathstalker movies. First, let's compare the heroes. Each movie follows a warrior who goes by the name Deathstalker. Never is he called by any other name, and usually he's never played by the same actor. It's like the James Bond franchise, from Sean Connery to Daniel Craig, but we're not comparing Bonds here, we're comparing Deathstalkers. The first guy is Rick Hill. He's an emotionless brute who just goes around killing people and raping women. Hardly a hero, I'd say.
Heroes and fools are the same thing.
He gives terrible words of wisdom and one-liners.
A little toast first.
No toast, just a little coffee.
But he delivers them with such confidence. His barbaric manner and meat-headed persona sets the standard for what Deathstalker is all about. In Deathstalker 2, he's played by John Terlesky.
Ordinarily, I don't mind seeing a woman get a good beating if she deserves it.
You can see they chose a completely different route with this movie. He looks nothing like the first Deathstalker and is even cheesier, if that's possible. Whenever he appears, it almost seems like he's going to say something like, "Here I am, to save the day." Look at that face. He comes off as being self-aware, that he knows he's in a bad movie and he's just having fun with it. It's like Bruce Campbell in Army of Darkness. The whole movie around him is so silly, he just goes along with it. In Deathstalker 3, we have John Allen Nelson. He's a nice guy. Look at that. He's kissing her on the hand. What a gentleman. The first Deathstalker would have been ripping her clothes off. That's all he does. He kisses hands and rides horses. It's that old-fashioned hero mentality that would have belonged in an old movie serial. He doesn't have the commanding presence of the first Deathstalker or the comic value of the second. He's just a schmuck. You never thought you'd be begging for the first guy back, and that's why Deathstalker 4 brought back Rick Hill. He's the equivalent of Sean Connery, meaning he's the one who I think of when I think Deathstalker. His long hair, his voice, everything about him fits this kind of movie. Now let's compare the leading ladies. In the first movie, we have Lena Clarkson as the Deathstalker's companion. Even though the women in these movies are usually portrayed as being weaker than the men, she's the exception, and rather than just being someone the hero has to rescue, she's a warrior herself and fights alongside the men. And also, like the men, she goes bare-chested. She actually got her own spin-off series, The Barbarian Queen. In Deathstalker 2, we have Monique Gabrielle, who I think is the most attractive of all, but with good looks comes bad acting.
You can't treat me like this. I'm a princess.
This is bad. This is real bad. The princess is being imprisoned by Jarek.
My God, she's the worst actress of all time. Her character goes back to the typical female in distress. There's a scene where the bad guys try to gang rape her. Now, she's always wearing this rag, so when they rip it off, she goes from fully clothed to almost naked in one clean swipe.
Check her heart.
I did not expect that, although her filmography mostly includes adult films. Got a bad actress? What do? Put her in 2 roles. Yeah, she actually plays one of the villains too, who's some kind of magical doppelganger or something. In the end, the two of them face off.
You bitch!
For a couple seconds. The third movie, it's hard to say who the real leading lady is. There's a princess who's trying to join two pieces of a diamond to unlock some magical city. She's killed and replaced by her sister, who's played by the same actress. Then the Deathstalker hooks up with another girl in rags. She fights alongside him and they end up screwing. None of these women have much personality or anything that really stands out in the series. So let's move on to the fourth movie. Maria Ford is our final Deathstalker woman. The only one with hair that's longer and blonder than the Deathstalker himself. She wears the same brown sort of rags, which I guess became a tradition at this point. She participates in the fighting, and she kicks some ass. She makes a good pair to go along with the Deathstalker. So who is the best? I would say the first girl. Though she has less screen time, her warrior woman persona comes off the most strong. Now it's time for the villains. In the first movie, it's a sorcerer named Munkar, played by Bernard Earhart. He has a weird tattoo on the side of his face. He holds a fighting tournament similar to Enter the Dragon. He has a pet monster that he keeps in a chest, has the ability to clone himself, and give out magical sex changes. Yes, he literally turns a man into a woman with his powers. And later, the Deathstalker tries to nail that same woman, but then, uh-oh, he realizes she used to be a man. That'll teach him a lesson. The second movie has this jackass played by John Lazar. He's not much of a sorcerer, more like a sword fighter. In this scene, he's having a conversation with the evil princess while she's eating a banana, and he's casually killing off his own men. It's a really bizarre scene. This guy doesn't have much to do. He's far less interesting than the previous villain, but in the final scene, him and the Deathstalker have a pretty decent sword fight. It ends with the Deathstalker grabbing the sword, breaking it with his own hands, making faces, and jamming the broken end into his neck. Awesome. In Deathstalker 3, the villain is a guy named Truck Sardis, but it sounds like Truck Sawdust.
Truck Sardis.
Truck Sardis.
Truck Sardis.
Truck Sardis.
Truck Sardis. Truck Sardis.
Truck Sardis.
Truck Sawdust. That's catchy. He's played by Tom Christopher. He looks way too ordinary to be a villain in a fantasy film. He makes up for it by wearing something different in every scene. And it's always something weird, like a fuzzy blanket wrapped around him. Finally, the scene where he first meets the Deathstalker, it appears that he's wearing something halfway normal for once. That is until you see his whole body, and what do you know? He has no pants. His evil scheme is to resurrect a room full of mummies. Supposedly these were warriors who he defeated in battle, and now they're under his control, if that makes any sense. Then all of a sudden there's banshees flying around. I mean, what the hell is going on with this movie? In the end, he fights the Deathstalker, and it is the worst sword fight I've ever seen. And it goes on forever. It's terrible! Is it all improv? What are they doing? Oh, where'd he go? I don't see where he went. Now he's using a blanket? It's like two kids playing. Deathstalker 4 isn't even worth talking about. Her name's Kana, played by Michelle Moffat. Having a woman as the villain was a good way to change it up, but her screen time is very small. She sits in a throne hosting the fighting tournament. Her evil scheme is to create an army of stone soldiers. She tries to turn the Deathstalker into one himself, but fails. There's this old guy who's like her henchman, and he spends the whole movie just announcing the fighters. I didn't even know who he was supposed to be. He doesn't do anything until the end. He fights the Deathstalker for about 20 seconds. He's completely useless. Kana herself gets killed very easily, so basically Deathstalker 4 sort of has two villains, but neither one of them is developed enough. It's a no-brainer. The first villain, Munkar, was the most powerful and the best. As in the best that Deathstalker villains could possibly get. Now let's talk about the wardrobe. Every Deathstalker movie has its own moments where somebody's wearing something that's truly ridiculous. In Deathstalker 1, it's that stupid half-vest thing. Why the hell is he wearing that? In Deathstalker 2, it's those random bad guys in the opening scene. What are they supposed to be dressed as? Superman with a ninja mask? In Deathstalker 3, just take a look. Why are there bat wings on their helmets? Is that a joke? Am I watching Monty Python and the Holy Grail? And Deathstalker 4, the dumbest of all. It's lion masks. I don't even understand if they're supposed to be masks or their heads are actually lions. I don't know. I can't believe I'm talking about this. That is some stupid shit. We know these movies would all make great Joe Bob drive-in totals. They rely on two things, violence and sex. So just for curiosity's sake, I counted up all the kills and all the boobs. Yeah, I'm not being too classy about this, so let's take a look. Deathstalker 1, 29 kills and 18 boobs. Deathstalker 2, 38 kills and 10 boobs. Deathstalker 3, 27 kills and 18 boobs, though technically most of them appear in the background and a lot of them are recycled from the first Deathstalker. Deathstalker 4, 41 kills and 14 boobs. But once again, Deathstalker 4 uses a lot of recycled footage. Now let's look at some of the little odds and ends, just the miscellaneous highlights from all the movies. In Deathstalker 1, there's the creature that fixes its mask. Yeah, did you see that? Look again. Oh, wait. Okay, now I'm good. Why didn't they edit that out? There's this pig guy who looks like he belongs in Return of the Jedi. There's a scene where he's eating another pig's head. At first he's not really sure about it, then he decides, fuck it. This shot was recycled in the second movie. And now look at him, he's gonna rape a girl. I guess you can say he's gonna pork her. And the best moment of all, he rips off an arm and beats the crap out of somebody. This was one of the many shots they recycled in the fourth movie. Now moving on to Deathstalker 2, the opening shot of the castle is recycled from another Roger Corman flick, The Raven. That wasn't the first time it was recycled, it's also the opening shot of The Terror, and it comes back yet again in Deathstalker 3! The first scene is like a spoof of Indiana Jones. Then right before the title, they actually say the title.
I'll have my revenge, and Deathstalker 2.
Oh, that's so bad! The whole thing is a farce. There's a cemetery scene with zombies. The set looks just as bad as Plan 9 from Outer Space. There's a scene in a boxing ring where they actually play the Rocky music. I can't believe it. And in one of the final scenes, they're hiding and disappearing behind different pillars like a fucking cartoon. It uses every cliche in the book. Moving on to Deathstalker 3, there's not much to say because nothing happens till the last half hour. Ironically, it's the only Deathstalker movie to have gotten the Mystery Science Theater treatment.
Fuck it! Fuck it!
What is he saying? Fuck it?
Fuck it!
Yeah, fuck it.
Fuck it! Fuck it!
Deathstalker 4, there's so much recycled footage from the first Deathstalker, it feels like you're just watching the first movie again. It lacks a good villain, and it shows all the signs of a weary, broken down film series on its last leg. I liked it a little better than 3, but it's not as good as the first, and not as funny as the second. It's good for what it's worth, and it's worth shit. So if you want to have yourself a big feast of shit, hunt down the old VHS tapes or a DVD if you're lucky, and have yourself a Deathstalker marathon.
Fuck it! Fuck it!